Single dad got stuck with the CEO. What he did in the elevator changed a $3 billion smart building. Chris Jenkins glanced at his cracked watch as the elevator doors of Aurora Tech Tower began to close. He had just dropped off blueprints for a last-minute maintenance request and was eager to get back home before his daughter Lily got out of school. As a single dad juggling two jobs, moments with her were rare and precious. The elevator jolted slightly as it began its descent from the 48th floor. Chris barely noticed the man who slipped in at the last second: sleek suit, polished shoes, Bluetooth earpiece blinking blue. The kind of guy who owns skyscrapers, not fixed their leaky plumbing. Then, with a sudden clang, the elevator screeched to a halt between floors. Lights flickered. Silence. Chris pressed the emergency button. "We're stuck," he muttered. "Great," the man grumbled, pulling out his phone. "No signal. Perfect timing. Board meeting in 20 minutes, and I'm trapped with." He paused, glancing at Chris's dusty shirt and toolbox. "Maintenance." Chris gave a polite nod. "Name's Chris." The man didn't offer his. He muttered under his breath and began pacing. Minutes passed. Chris, ever calm, pulled out a folded paper and a crayon. He began sketching something quietly, using his knee for a desk. The man finally looked over, curiosity overriding his annoyance. "What are you doing?" "My daughter's science project," Chris said with a small smile. "She's obsessed with energy efficiency. Asked me to help her build a smart building model. We're designing it together." Something shifted in the man's expression. "Smart building, huh? Like energy sensors and adaptive lighting?" Chris nodded. "Yeah. But also stuff like auto-detection of human emotion for comfort lighting, air quality monitoring in real time. Lily wants it to be kind to people, not just efficient." There was a pause. Then the man surprised Chris by sitting down beside him. "I built this building," he said quietly. "I'm the CEO of Aurora Tech. Spent 3 years designing it to be the smartest in the country. Triple net zero. Fully automated. But, not once did I think of people's feelings." Chris looked at him. "Maybe it's not too late." For the next hour, the two of them talked, about technology, about children, about burnout, and balance. Chris shared ideas Lily had drawn, like calming music playing in elevators during peak hours, scent diffusers that reduced anxiety in waiting areas, even smart chairs that adjusted to posture for seniors. The CEO listened. Really listened. Eventually, the lights flickered back on, and the elevator groaned to life. As it reached the lobby, the CEO turned to Chris and said, "What you've shared, it's brilliant. Your daughter is brilliant. And I'd like to meet her." 2 weeks later, Chris and Lily were invited to Aurora Tech's Innovation Lab. Lily stood in awe as engineers translated her colorful crayon sketches into digital prototypes. A month later, Aurora Tech announced a major retrofit initiative across all its properties, implementing emotional intelligence tech into their buildings, aimed at improving human experience. The project was named Project Lily. News outlets called it revolutionary. Chris was offered a full-time position, head of human-centered innovations. He turned down his night job. He picked Lily up from school every day. They still designed projects together, only now, the world was listening. One evening, as they walked past the building that started it all, Lily squeezed his hand and said, "Dad, you think buildings can really be kind?" Chris smiled. "They can try. Just like people." In that small elevator, a blue-collar dad and a billionaire CEO found a shared truth, that the smartest buildings, or lives, are the ones built with heart. And it all began with a crayon drawing, and the courage to care.